Hello, everybody. How are you all? Mark?
Hey, everybody. How are you, Andrew?
I'm not too bad, thanks. Yeah. So we're in English today. We've got a few exciting things to talk about, and the first of them is today is release day for our new digital single, Empire Windrush 2020. So what's that about, Mark?
Well, we originally recorded it in 2011, and it's a song that came about on the Wine from a Mug album. And before then, I hadn't written any songs. We'd released 2 albums, and Andrew was writing the original songs, and I didn't quite trust myself. And that's one of the second song that I wrote, and got put on the album. And I was very happy with it. Was at the time I read an article about the Windrush generation and about how those people had, unbeknown to me, I knew nothing about it, that they joined the effort in the Second World War and volunteered in their thousands from India, Pakistan, Jamaica, the former colonies and former Commonwealth. And it was just an incredible story. And I grew up in the Midlands, which is a very, very multicultural part of the country. It's got a huge Indian and Jamaican and West African, West Indian communities, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved the. With me, it all comes down to food, really. You know, the benefits of multiculturalism. The food is just amazing. You know, just great Indian food, and yeah, I just love the color, and I love the idea of it all being mixed up. And so I was shocked. I always, I grew up around racism. We all encountered it. Like I had friends who had problems with it, and it was just a song about that, really.
Yeah. And when we recorded it in the first place, that was the first time. I was just thinking now, that's the first time we had that core band that we've tended to have on our albums since, of the guest musicians, Katie Doherty, who then ended up touring with us. That was the first time we had her singing with us, and we had Ian Stevenson on the double bass and Andy May on the piano. That was the band on that song, and that was the first time we had that lineup, which is sort of stuck for for everything we've done since then as well.
Yeah, we've been stuck with those people ever since. Just can't get rid of them.
Just can't shake them off. They just keep popping up. Yeah. So then, and that song's always been a very popular one for us. We've always we like it, so we've always played it live. And but why do you think we've decided to come to re-release it?
Well, we've been looking for ways to generate income. The gig situation is still pretty bad. Gigs are being cancelled into the autumn, and it's not looking good. And we're just looking at ways to generate income. And also we have a new project which we'll talk about in a bit. And it kind of fits in with that because it's more of a band sound. I mean, we're Andy and Ian, and I play the drums, and Andrew plays a few instruments on there. So it's got that kind of band feel about it as well. So
yeah. But also it was our label up to now, Steeplejack, had also suggested this song because of the subject matter. It's a theme that's come up again in 2018 with the deportations, the dreadful deportations of people from the Windrush generation who are talked about in the song, often war heroes and people who came to help out, then being deported on a ridiculous technicality. And so that's been in the politics of the UK for anyone outside of the UK and hasn't heard of that stuff. The people talked about in this song, some of them have actually been deported back to a country they barely know, just because it says on their paperwork that they're from there. And that's so it brought the song into a new focus. Certainly for me anyway, it brought the song into a new focus.
Absolutely, yeah. Disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful what's happened, obviously,
yeah. But when you wrote that song, for me it was the first time I learned a lot of facts about that about that subject through the song, and through you talking about why you wrote the song. And a few people now have said, listening to the song again this year, it's kind of like, why did we not know this stuff back then, when that, this is all new for a lot of people. So it'd be interesting to see what all you folks think about it.
Well, you'd hoped, hadn't you, that the racism that we're seeing now, wouldn't rear its ugly head again. I just certainly didn't expect it. What's happening now in politics, and certainly that situation, I thought we'd progressed as a society a bit more than that. But unfortunately, yeah. So, but it gives us the chance to keep re-releasing the songs, so they never go out of.
Yeah, I mean, that's great for songwriters, isn't it? When society's in such a mess, you've got a lot to write about. And just a quick thing about, I mean, it's a remix of the original recordings. As we got hold of the original tracks that we recorded with Jürgen, and we were very happy, and still are, with the original mix, but we just decided to push a few elements in the mix. You have to make choices when you mix something, and it fits into the album well because the drums are quite far back, and the everything's sort of mixed with the acoustic instruments very to the fore. So we decided this time round to push the drums, so I kind of beefed up the drum sound, and the drums are actually played with brushes. Mark's playing the drums, and it's obviously for the context, it's quite a subtle drumming part, which is
it had
trademark.
It had to be on that day, because we recorded with Jürgen Treyers, and he filled us full of whiskey the night before.
Oh, yeah.
And I had the most horrendous hangover, and so I had to play with brushes. Sticks would have just exploded my head.
So I tried to bring out, extend the dynamics of the drums a bit, just to make them really pop out, and just to give it a kind of more bring out the drums and the bass more. And there's a few
that's a first for people who are not used to this kind of stuff. Musicians will know, and particularly drummers will know. Drummers spend all their time in the studio saying the drums aren't loud enough, can you turn them up, please? This is an absolute first.
The drums the drums are kind of pushed to the fore. Everything's there, what was there before, it's just kind of reordered slightly. Andy May, who we mentioned before, who did the piano, also played some organ. And I remember at the time he was a little bit annoyed that the organ kind of took quite a back seat, just to leave space for the vocals. So this time I've tried to really smash the backing vocals and the organ to the front. And I listened to the organ part on its own, it really is fabulous. So that kind of shines through as well. So, and there's a few sort of mad effects, and the double bass has been sort of extended downwards to give it some sub bass. It's all it was very, very fun to do anyway.
Sounds great. It sounds great. So so go and download it.
And the place you can download it is exclusively on the Bandcamp streaming site. So you can download it as a high quality FLAC, I think it's called, for audio buffs. You can get it as MP3, or you can just stream it off their site. It's the only place you can get it. It's exclusively on Bandcamp. Thanks to the label for allowing us to do that.
Yes, thank you, Neil.
Broombesoms.bandcamp.com is the place to do it. And we're going to this is the official release. So you're ready, Mark? I don't know if you
sitting on the edge of my seat. On the edge of my seat.
I don't know if you people out there have seen an official release of a song before, but it's in this cup, and after a countdown from 3 down to 1, we're going to let it go. So I think it's 3. Come on, Mark. 2, 1.
1. Fly away, be free.
It's out there. So go and catch it now while you can. Empire Windrush 2020. So thanks, folks.
So from the old to the new, and something we've tried in the past is a band format. We got drummer and a bass player with the Broom Besoms format, and tried various things. And on the albums we've played them ourselves to get the band. I play the drums and Andrew's played bass, and we've gone for that. And so we're working on a new project. Lockdown kind of forced us into the studio, and forced us to think a little bit and reflect and make some decisions. So we decided we're under new management, and we're kind of taking things in a different direction. We had a good think about where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do, and we recorded material. And so how did we do that, Andrew?
Well, we started off just sending each other ideas, as we often do with new ideas. And then lockdown came. The idea was always for us to get together and try and play them together. But it was very much a kind of jolting thing anyway, because we were trying to sort of try wildly different things out. So we've ended up just sending each other recordings back and forth. I think we've talked about this before a bit. But we're now going to finally show you the first thing that we've come up with. The first sort of two recordings that we've come up with that we've both worked on remotely and gone in a slightly different musical direction. We're not sure if we're going to do it under the Broom Besan's name and just keep that as a separate thing. But do you want to just give us a blast of it, Mark?
I will, yeah. I'll hope and pray the computer works. There it is.
If you only say, and if we only do, if we only gave, but you never really knew, how can we become who we need to be, to look up to the stars, take what we need, how to say the words I know you need to hear, how to make you feel the pain and let you shed a tear. But I guess we'll never know how it's going to be. Will there come a time when the truth is plain to see? Raise your voices and sing out loud.
So there you go. It's difficult for us to gauge by ourselves, and remember that that's just coming through my studio speakers into a microphone. So this platform doesn't do us any favors. But yeah, I mean, decide for yourselves. I'm not really sure sometimes how different it is from what we've done. It's difficult to gauge, but yeah, that was one of the first tracks.
Yeah. So what's that one called?
That one's called If I Say the Word.
Yeah. So that's quite, I mean, for me, that certainly sounds different to what we've done before, but the lead vocals is you singing, backing vocals is me singing. There's nothing new about that. You're playing acoustic guitar all the way through it. So, and drums, well, there's drums on there. And yeah, probably not that much different to what we've attempted before, but it just feels certainly different to us. And Anna Haag says, absolute tull, which is for, well, I can
rubbish.
Tell you. That's German. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So yeah, give us your comments. I mean, obviously you're hearing it as a mangled internet thing through little microphone, but just you feel about what you think.
Yeah, we'd love to know. We'd love to know. Yeah, whether or not to release it.
This is just step one, isn't it? This is still the demo stage. I mean,
yeah. These are demo stages. Yeah.
Go into an album, go into a studio with a producer when the time's right, and record a full album of stuff, and then take it out on tour with the full band. So up until now, we've mostly, even if we have a full band sound like on Empire Windrush, reduced it back down to the two of us, obviously, mainly actually for cost reasons. That the type of gigs that we tend to play in just can't afford to put a full band on the stage and a lorry full of equipment.
sadly, yeah. But well, that's the plan anyway. So we'll give you a run of the first one. That was a track from me, and this one then's from Andrew. And what's this one called, Andrew?
Nearly There.
If all you need is a hand to hold, and all you need is for your story to be told. If all you need is an open ear, then all you need is over here. When the summer breeze fills the air, we're in no hurry, getting there. When the summer breeze cools your brow, we'll get by somehow. The days are passing like a waning moon. Half empty glasses will fill them soon. The swallows swooping on a summer's eve. I'll stay in the darkness, no plans to leave. When the summer breeze fills the air.
So there you go. There's a couple of snippets from what we've been doing for the last 6 months. There's a pile of songs there. I think there's probably about 20 songs, all almost ready to go onto an album. So we're just waiting for our manager to put his hand in his pocket and pull out the money to go.
Yeah. So there'll be a process before this can we need to do it live as well. We'll need to sort out a band and actually be able to see each other for a start. So yeah, be interesting to hear. Eva says, I'm translating from German here, sound quality isn't so great, but I like it. Thank you, Eva. Yeah, the sound quality by the time it reaches you guys at home has been totally decimated, but we promise you what we're sending out is decent sound quality. Yeah, so we've got some get to the website because there's some gigs up there. There's our 10 dates. This is our 15th year of Broom Besoms, and our big 10-date celebratory tour has been reduced to 3. So through lockdown and problems with rooms and hygiene rules, it's been really reduced down to 3 gigs. The Mannheim gig's been taken off the front of the tour and put a week later for their reasons due to restrictions. So we're trying to deal with things and just make the best. It'd be great, if it all works out, it'll be great to see you all. And yeah, that's it then. Time's up. How does that feel, Mark? We've let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, it feels great. I feel like I've got something off my chest.
Yeah, good. Yeah, take care, everyone. Go to broombesoms.com to get updates and sign up to the mailing list. There'll be some information come out. Remember to download the newly released Empire Windrush 2020. We'd love to hear what you think about that as well. And next week we're back in German.
Cool. Take care, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.